Entry into advanced weapons manufacturing can be a very difficult task, as it demands a lot of experience and technological sophistication. Despite the technical difficulties of the task, South Korea rose to the challenge and produced an outstanding weapons system, which has shocked the world. But before we discuss this weapons platform in detail, I would like to request you to subscribe to the channel. Subscription helps our channel grow, and I really appreciate all your support in this matter. Alright, so South Korea has emerged as an unlikely contender for developing cutting-edge weapon systems. Its latest offering, the K-21 infantry fighting vehicle, is capable of going toe-to-toe with the American and European competitors, and fulfills every NATO requirement. This vehicle is more than enough to act as a support vehicle for the infantry, and is arguably the most protective fighting vehicle in the world. Even so, South Korea has had trouble selling K-21 infantry fighting vehicles in the international market because buyers preferred American and German IFVs. That did not deter the South Koreans to come up with a more cutting-edge version of their K-21 infantry fighting vehicle. This vehicle was developed in 2020 and was codenamed 21 Redback. This IFV would later compete in the IFV competition in Australia, which further took the shape of a venture. The result was an IFV which is equal parts resilient, deadly, and adaptable. The Australian Armed Forces have traditionally relied on American or European military technology. Infantry support vehicles were no exception too, since IFVs were a mainstay in the Australian Army. However, the Australian Army had been relying too much on outdated technology, and it decided in 2018 that it had to come up with a modern replacement for its IFVs. For the record, the IFVs deployed by the Australian military goes back 60 years, and despite continued upgrades, the infrastructure simply could not keep up with the developments taking place elsewhere. It was in this context of having an aging weapons platform that the Australian Armed Forces decided to adopt more recent technology by 2025 and stop using its pre-existing IFVs by 2030 altogether. After 2025, the aging IFVs, the M13s, could only be used in low-intensity battle, which poses no significant risk. It was to be used in low-risk engagements, where chances of survival were significantly more. The Australian military is evaluating replacements for the M13s, which can endure the challenging topography and unforgiving battlefields of the 21st century. So, the Australian military started shopping for more advanced IFVs from its American and European suppliers. The Australian military was also on the lookout for a resilient IFV, which would be more suited to Australia's rugged environment. At first, the Australians were persuaded to finalize German IFVs, which have been fulfilling German military requirements since 2015. However, just as the Australians began testing German IFVs, they were approached by a South Korean corporation. The South Korean Defense Corporation, Hanwha Defense, approached the Australian government with a promising candidate. This candidate was a South Korean IFV back from 2000. It was in the early 2000s when South Korea had first emerged on the world market as an arms manufacturer, thanks to its huge government funding. So, what was this promising candidate pushed by the South Koreans? This was an IFV created by the Doosan DSD Corporation and was designed to be a very tough and powerful IFV, which was designed to cater to all NATO requirements. The South Korean IFV, the K-21, had many capabilities. It provided unprecedented levels of protection to the troops inside. It had cutting-edge electronic warfare capacities. It had amphibious functionality and an extremely powerful 40mm autocannon, which could provide strong suppressing power. The South Korean K-21 seemed like an excellent contender for a weapon in its budget. It could easily compete with the M2 Bradley, as well as other German and European IFVs. It could be operated with a 3-man crew. The autocannon could be used to deter tanks and provide some cover for the troops inside. It seemed as if the K-21 was the culmination of South Korean engineers' efforts to push South Korea into the heart of global arms manufacturing, and the result was a complete success. For one, the K-21 could operate on land and in water. Not all IFVs have amphibious functionality. This level of versatility was key in giving K-21 an upper edge in navigating across a range of terrain, including different rivers, which were enmeshed into the Korean peninsula. The IFV was also designed to protect its cargo, the cherished soldiers of a democracy. This meant that the IFV had a thick, strong protection like a tank. K-21 was able to achieve this kind of protection through putting a blend of reinforced aluminum ceramic tiles and fiberglass. This unique alloy would shed troops from armor-piercing rounds from a 30mm cannon. This gave the K-21 an extraordinary boost in terms of survivability, and now it was considered equivalent to the American Bradley. The K-21 was powered by a 740 horsepower V10 turbocharged diesel engine, which gave a unique power-to-weight ratio of 29.2 horsepower per ton. The world's best-known IFV, the American Bradley, was only able to accomplish 19.7 horsepower per ton. This meant that the K-21 had accomplished something truly extraordinary. It had become a leading choice in IFVs against all odds. Now, let's talk about the Redback. Even with all these accomplishments, no serious buyer was looking to invest in the K-21. Almost every serious buyer was looking to buy from either the Americans or the Europeans. The South Koreans realized that their IFVs simply do not have that kind of demand. This was obviously before Hanwha Defense had bought the Daewon DST Corporation. After the Daewon DST buyout, it became a part of the extremely widespread Hanwha conglomerate, which played a huge part in South Korea's financial scene. The Hanwha conglomerate even bought Samsung in 2014. The buyout had a trickle-down effect on the way South Koreans approached their IFV sales. Initially, there was no change in strategy towards how South Koreans dealt with the issue. But their strategy had evolved now. The Hanwha conglomerate has decided to upgrade the K-21 IFV into its most modern form, which is now the ultimate IFV called the Redback. The Redback has been specifically designed to cater to the Australian military needs. The AS-21 Redback is the technological superior version of the K-21. This IFV now has upgraded armor and can protect its troops from conventional as well as unconventional armaments, including biological and nuclear armaments. This IFV comes equipped with the digital battle management. The inner design of this IFV provides more comfort and safety to the troops, and its improved engine can guarantee speeds over 40 miles per hour. The AS-21 comes equipped with an Mk-44 30mm autocannon, a 7.63 coaxial machine gun, a multi-barrel smoke grenade launcher, and 2 spiky LR missile launchers. The AS-21 is the modernized version of the K-21. At the moment, it seems like the AS-21 will bring South Korea to the center of global weapons manufacturing. What do you think? Feel free to comment down below, and please hit the like button if you enjoyed today's content. See you in the next one.